Hello everybody, welcome back. In this video, we shall continue to build the game of Highway Dash. This is the part 2 of this game. In the first part, we built the scrolling backdrop and also gave the movement for our hero car, the main car that is the racing car, right? So in this video, we shall continue and we will use the concepts of layers to build the darkness slash headlight sprite, and also we'll give the code to the other cars and basically complete this game, right? So let's just recall where we left this, right? So remember, we are building this game. So far we have built this much, that we get this backdrop which scrolls, and this car which is moving, we can turn the car. However, the car doesn't go too much to the right, neither does it go too much to the left, right? So we are going to move forward from here. The first thing we are going to do is to give the code and the basically the other car, right? So the other cars, remember, are those cars which are also supposed to be on the highway. And the whole idea, the whole impression we are creating, we can see it from here, is that our car is moving, and these cars are also moving on the highway, and our car is going and overtaking these cars, right? So that's what the role of these other cars is. And of course, we are going to use cloning for this purpose also, right? So that we can create an unlimited number of cars, right? So we'll first go and build that, right? And for that purpose, I'm going to have to create a new car, right? So one option would have been to use this car, maybe the same race car, and change its color and so on and so forth. The other option would also be to go and import some other sprite from some other, let's say, images from the internet or from elsewhere. I chose the third option, which is basically to sort of draw this thing. Right now, this obviously is not the best car, but the point I wanted to make is that these tools are also fairly powerful. You can use these to draw something, right? So here I've already drawn I drew a rectangle, then I used this tool to distort it a little bit, and then I drew something like a roof and the two mirrors, right? So simple car, good enough for our purpose, but you can certainly do more here, right? You can actually do many more sophisticated drawings and so on and so forth, right? So we will go with this. So this is our other car, right? And on the other car, I'm going to now create, let's say, so I'm going to, yeah, so these variables are there. I'm going to now basically create some code for this other car, right? The question that I'm going to ask myself is, what does this other car do, right? And let's look at our game here, right? Basically, the other car is really like, appearing from top to bottom, right? So other cars are appearing on top and they are moving downwards, right? So really, they are like, uh, a standard cloning exercise, right, where we have this car coming in, and of course when it hits something, the game comes to an end, right? So we are going to build all of this, right? But really, like I said, it's all about cloning and making sure that these cars go from top to bottom, right? So let's just start writing a little bit of code for this, right? So uh, remember, I'm in the other car, so I'll say, okay, look, when the flag is clicked, right? So I will hide these, because remember, I'm going to clone and hence going to show them later on. So I hide these when the flag is clicked. Forever after that, I'm going to create these clones, right? So it's very similar to some of the other games like the Chrome Dino, also the shooting game, right, where we did something like this. So I'm going to say wait for a while, say maybe wait for, say, let's say random amount of, say, 2 to 3 seconds. Right now, again, these things you can fine tune. It's all right. Wait for 2 to 3 seconds. Set X to a random value, right? So now why do I do that? Because I want the car to really appear from somewhere here, right? So I'm going to change the X value. I'm sorry. So I'm going to set X to a random value, right? So set X to a random value. So pick random again. However, I do not want the car to appear too much in the corners, right? So I do not want the car to appear, for example, on this green patch or on this green patch, right? So what I will do is that I'll say pick it to a set it to a random number, say between -110 to 110. Right? Recall from the race car code, we know that these limits we had set 115 -115. So here I'm just going by that, approximately setting it to a random number between -110 and 110, right? So which means that the car will never go onto the green patches on the either side, right? And then just to make sure that my each of my car looks a little different from the other one, so I can just say, maybe like I can say change color effects by, say, maybe by change by 10, right? So with this, with all this preparation done, I can now create a clone of this car, right? So I say create a clone of myself, right? Now I can say, okay, look, when I start as a clone, right? So when I notice cloning is never complete with just creating this, so I have to also tell what do I do when I start as a clone, right? So what I say is that for this car, when I start as a clone, now remember its X position has been set. In fact, I could have set Y position also here, but I'm going to just do that a little differently, and I'm going to set this in the when I start as a clone. So I say when I start as a clone show, because the car was otherwise hidden, I show it, and then I say set Y to. So I'll go and say set, in the looks, in the motion, sorry, I can go and say set Y to something like say 140, right? And why do I do that? Well, because I want this car to appear somewhere on the top here, right? So I say set Y to 120, and then all I have to do is to say, okay, look, forever change, let's say, change Y by say -2, right? Now why minus? Because I want this not set. I'll say change Y by say something like -2, right? Now the reason is because I want this car to appear from top to bottom, right? So notice this car is appearing from top to bottom, and when this is also moving, it looks like I'm really overtaking these cars, right? So these cars are coming down from top, and it looks like my race car is going faster than them and overtaking them. So when I slow down also, but of course it's going to hit this here, right? And that's the whole game. We have to avoid these cars as much as possible, right? So we want to create an impression that these are being overtaken, and for that purpose I just say, okay, look, each of these cars starts to come down by -2, right? Now if you want, right, in this game you can give each clone their own speed, right? So which means you'll have to create a variable for that sprite only, and then you can set a speed for every car. So it need not be -2, maybe some could be -1, some could be -3. Once again, don't make them too fast, because then otherwise the game gets unplayable, right? So however, here I'm taking a simpler approach. I'm just saying, okay, for every clone I'm giving the same speed, which is change Y by -2, right? So that's also fine. Right now I'm going to have to delete these clones. And how do I delete these clones? Well, all I have to do is that whenever they reach this part of the screen, whenever they go and touch this edge, I can delete them, right? So I can put a small code. I'll say if, let's say, so I can say if touching edge, and if the speed is, if say Y coordinates, or not speed, if the Y coordinate is less than say something like -140, right? So I can put two conditions here, right? So I can say, I can put this and this and, right? So if, let's say, right, this and this, right? So essentially I'll go, oops, not here. So I'll say if, let's say, speed is, so I'm going to say if, not, I don't want this, I'm going to say if touching edge, right? So if it's touching the edge, which is, a basic condition, right? If touching edge, and, right, so remember both the conditions must be held, and I can say if Y position is say less than -100, right? So why do I do this, right? Because although it would have been okay here probably to just say touching edge, but I just want to be foolproof here. I just want to make sure that the car does not get deleted as soon as it's created, right? So sometimes if your car is too large or something like that, it might touch this edge as soon as it is created at set to Y equals to 140, and then it will get deleted, right? So just to avoid that, I'm doing, let me clean up these blocks, right? So I'm doing, when I start as a clone, right? So I'm doing touching edge, which is touching any of these boundaries, and Y position say less than -100, which is somewhere here, which means the car is decidedly on this portion. I can go and delete this. Now this -100 need not be -100, it can be -110, -120, or -50. Doesn't matter, so long as you understand the intent that I want to delete these once this car reaches this boundary. And I can, to delete the clone, I can definitely just put delete this clone, right? So now if you notice, what will happen is the car will come from the top, and you just notice it will come here and it will delete itself, right? So I'll make way for the car, and the car is now nicely deleting itself, right? So it's just nice and neat, right? So all I have to do now is really to give some code to detect an accident, and that part is simple, because remember, here I have to, I mean, really just have to figure out if I'm touching a car or not, right? So I'm just going to touching a race car, that is, right? So I'm going to just put a separate condition here saying that control if say touching race car, right? If touching say race car is another sprite, so I have this option to say if touching race car, then I can, there's two things I'm going to do. One, I'm going to declare an accident, and two, I'm going to delete all the other clones, right? So that both are important, because really the game is going to get over at this point of time. I want all the other road clones from the road to disappear, number one, and I also want to declare an accident so that I can do something going forward, right? So I'm just going to use two broadcasts at this point of time. I'm going to say broadcast, let's say, so instead of message one, I'll rename this to, say, delete clones, right? And also I'm going to broadcast another message called accident, right? So first I say delete close, and then I say a new message called accident. Now, of course, nothing will happen right now because I've not told what happens when these broadcasts are received. Basically, when I receive this message, accident, right? So I'll call it accident. Okay, so I'm just right now just broadcasting. I'm not doing anything about what happens here, but I've got this all set up, right? So now what happens on an accident, right? So now it's actually quite interesting, right? So really I want the game to come to an end, right? Notice whenever in this thing in my game here, right, whenever my say my car is moving, whenever I say I accidentally go and hit this, I want the game to come to a stop, right? So now, which means that I must stop the scrolling. I must delete all these other clones, and I want to also play this music, right? And if you really want, you can also have some annotation on the background saying it's, the game is over or something like that, right? So you can do that as well. I've not done that, but that's a kind of straightforward extension to this, right? So let's go one by one, right? So this happens when the broadcast called accident is generated. So I'm going to go to the highway code, right? Remember highway, the though it's a backdrop here, but really is a sprite, right? So I can go to the highway code and I can say, look, when I receive accident, right, which means that two cars have collided. When I receive accident, I am going to delete these clones, right? Now, why do I do that, right? Because really, remember the way the backdrop is set up is that there are two clones which are moving forever and ever again. So if I delete both of them, I'll be good, right? So I can delete these clones, and since I'm putting this deletion of clones inside a broadcast, right? So I'm saying when I receive this accident, delete this clones, right? So this will go to all the clones, and all the clones will get deleted, right? So the clones will get deleted, but if I did that, then notice what happens. I end up with a blank screen, right? So all I have to do is to just put back my original sprite at 00. So let me just put in this code, and then it'll become very clear what we are trying to do, right? So I'll go to say 00. When I receive accident, go to 00. You know, essentially, say show your sprite. So remember the this we are talking about the original sprite here. So I'll go and say show, right? And then I'll say delete this clone, right? Now this delete this clone is coming inside a broadcast, which means it's going to go to every clone, and both the clones are going to get deleted, right? So this part is interesting because if I did not, let's say, delete these clones, then really I'm not doing stopping this portion, right? At the same time, if I only deleted this clone, if I say only did this much, then the scrolling would stop, but the whole thing will become blank. So to do both of these, I'm saying, look, let's look at the original backdrop itself and show it, right? At the same time, later on, go and delete this code. So like I said, you can also create a new costume here for the highway, which has something like game over written, and you can switch to that costume, right? But then you must delete the clones because the cloning is what is causing the scrolling backdrops. That is over. Now the highway comes on, right? So I did this. Let's say now, let's say if I go and hit that car, I'll go and intentionally hit the car, see if the oops. Yeah, so notice my scrolling stopped, right? So car hit, the scrolling stopped, and what is hidden here? Now notice this has become show because I've sent this to 00. Now, if you don't, you want to really understand this, you can try some experiment here. Say if I say 0 minus 100, right? So then what will happen is, if I go and hit this car, let's say I deliberately go and hit some car, like here, right? Notice it's the new backdrop that is coming. The cloning stopped, right? So the cloning, both the clones got deleted. This thing stopped, and only this thing is in yellow line. That's because it went to 0 minus 100, right? I do not want that. Obviously, I want this entire screen to be covered. So I'll say go to 0, 0, right? So that is on the highway backdrop, right? So that takes care of the highway. Now, what happens to the other cars when I receive this, let's say, so let's say what happens to the race car when I receive accident, right? So I'm going to basically say when the race car receives accident, I want this to become completely still. I do not want the car to move, and nothing should happen. So on the race car, I'll say when I receive when I receive accident, right? So which means I've gone and hit something. So when I receive accident, I just go and stop all the other scripts in this sprite, right? So notice I'm using here stop all scripts in this sprite, right? So instead of stopping all, because stop all will also remove any background music and all of that. I do not want that. I'm just saying stop other scripts in this, right? So which means that it will stop doing taking commands from the, it will basically get frozen, right? So car will no longer move, car will no longer turn, and so on and so forth, right? So it will just go whatever position it is, it will just go and stop the car right there, right? So uh, next I will come back to the other car, right? So what does the other car do? Right now, notice we are really sending two broadcasts here. So we want to remove all the clones that are already present here, number one, and we also want to stop more clones from getting generated, right? While something else is going on. So I'm going to do this in two parts, right? I'm going to say, look, when I receive, so I'm sending two broadcasts. I'm saying when I receive delete clones. So when I receive delete clones, I will just say delete all clones. Now, since this is inside a broadcast, it will basically go and delete every clone, right? So every clone will get deleted. Uh, Next, I'll say when I receive accident, right? When I receive accident, what will I do? So I'll go here, right? So I'll say when I receive, wait a minute. So in the events, I'll say when I receive accident, right? So first I'm going to delete all the clones. When I receive accidents, I'm going to stop all the other scripts in this particular sprite. What that will do is that it will stop new cars from getting cloned. If I don't do that, then cars will still get cloned and they'll still do. So even though my car has got stopped, other cars will still keep coming. I do not want that. So I will just say stop all scripts in this sprite. Right now, if you do not, if you really want to get, uh, let's say, familiar with this, I suggest you, so pause this thing here and, just try, let's say, stop other scripts in this sprite. So I stop all these scripts and then I will say play sound. So I like the sound for this case called boom cloud until done, right? So that's the, so with this done, notice if I go and hit a car, right? If I, let's say, go and hit a car, what will happen is everything got deleted, including that clone got deleted. The whole thing came to a complete rest, and my game has really become, right? So if, let's say, I'm trying to turn and I go and hit this, my game has got frozen right there wherever it was, right? It removed all the clones. Notice all the other clones also went away and all the other sprites also disappeared. The highway sprite came to a standstill. Now let's say, just for the sake of argument or just for the sake of illustration, say I did not do this part, right? So then what can happen sometimes, I'm not sure if it will happen, but it can happen that, if I do this, notice this other car is still getting thrown, right? So we do not want that. It looks a little odd. I mean, in our game, although it's fine in a way because other cars are still coming, but, in our game, we want everything to get over. So we'll say stop all the other scripts in this sprite. So all the cloning will stop. We'll say play boom cloud until done, right? So now with this, we are pretty much, in good shape, except that we are going to build one feature which we have not yet done, and that is this thing called the headlight. Now notice in my game, in the game that I'm showing here, there's a headlight feature and everything around it starts getting dark as the game proceeds, right? So once I did that, so everything starts getting dark. Let me be a little bit careful here, right? It just keeps getting darker and darker as though night is falling, and it's getting, you're relying on your headlamp, right? So I didn't play it carefully, but that's what we are going to draw. And for that purpose, I'm going to use the concept of layers to set this whole thing up, right? So to do so, I'm going to now create a darkness sprite, right? We are now going to proceed to build the headlight feature by using the darkness sprite. Now, this requires several steps, and I'll try to go through this slowly so that you can follow and implement them yourself, right? The first thing I'm going to do is to create a darkness sprite. So for that purpose, I take paint a sprite and I call it darkness, right? So call it darkness, right? And in this sprite, I'm really going to just paint a huge black square, right? Black rectangle actually. So I'll go here, I'll select this, and I'll select the color to become black, and I'll just go and select this entire thing to appear here, right? So I'll just make a huge rectangle which appears over the entire stage. Now notice the moment I do this, right, I find that my race car has become obscured by this particular costume. It's gone behind this costume, right? And that's really the concept of layers, and we'll see more and more. So really, layers is all about whenever we have two or more overlapping sprites, which sprite goes on top is determined by the layers, right? So here, uh, the darkness has really gone and engulfed the car, and hence we are not able to see the car, but later on we will make the car visible on top of this darkness, right? So what I'll do right now is that I will set this car to be at 0 0, so that it kind of covers this nicely. But for the next part, right, for the next, for to be able to draw that headlight portion, so notice in my game here I also have this headlight kind of thing generated. To do this I will need to see, I need to edit this costume in a way that I'm able to see the car, right? So which means that I'm going to have to change the layers of this so that the car becomes visible. Right now we will talk more about layers, but like I said, layers is really about with two sprites falling on top of each other, which one gets seen, right? So basically the one that is on a front layer gets seen compared to the one that is on the back layer. Right now when we have put a new sprite, it has gone on a new layer, on a top layer, which is the darkness, and hence darkness is hiding it. So what we will do really is that on the darkness sprite, we will just go and click this go to back layer. Right now, once you do that, you notice that the car becomes visible because darkness has gone to the end of the stack, right? And we will talk about the stack and how we are going to assign the four layers to the four sprites later on. But for now, we'll do this because we are not yet done with editing this costume, right? So the car is visible here. Now I'm going to go back to this costume and I'm going to cut out a bit of, like a shape of a headlight, right? But before I do this, right, I want you to make sure that my car is stationary at x equals to 0. So race car here, right? So race car here should be at x equals to 0, and y doesn't matter because it's going to move around. But this x equals to 0 is very, very important, and for the reason for that will become clear later on when we move this, right? So make sure that your race car is positioned at x equals to 0, right? Now go into the darkness costume and choose, let's say, so basically create an outline of, let's say, yellow color, make it a little bit wider, right? And you have to be a little patient with this because Scratch editor sometimes creates some funny, it's a little hard to handle sometimes, right? But nonetheless, you create, the color doesn't matter, we're going to delete it anyway, right? I'm going to draw a line, right? So somewhere here, probably, oops, not a square. I'm going to draw a line which is, let's say, of this shape, and I just draw a little bit. The whole idea is that I'm going to make it aligned with the car, and that will become like the beam of the headlight that the car is emitting, right? So I draw one line here, and I'll draw one more line here, right? All right, so now I will use my mouse to basically align these lines with the car, and that's why I wanted the car to be visible. So I'll make this fill to nothing. Uh, be careful on this, otherwise Scratch starts to behave, the editor behaves somewhat little odd, right? So I'll just move this a little bit, it's perfect, and I'll move, oops, not the black color, but the dark line, the yellow line, right? So I'll move that as well, and I can move it a little bit more. And all I'm trying to do is to basically align it with the car, right? So with that done, my this thing has moved a little bit. I'll move this back here. Now notice it's becoming very nicely aligned to the car, and that's why I wanted the car to be visible, right? So I have made like a beam of light which is emitting out from the car. Now I'm going to complete this beam by making two more lines, right? So again, notice here the outline has become, something else. So I'll go and choose, let's say I can actually choose the dropper tool, and I go and select, say, this color, right? So I just say this color, right? So once again, outline is this. I'm going to complete this figure by drawing two more lines, right? And again, the outline became one. So painful, right? So I'll select all this, right? And I'll select the outline to say a little bit bigger, easier to see, right? And I'll also complete the last part of this line, which is, say, this line, to make a complete figure, right? So make sure this big figure is totally complete, and the reason for that will become obvious in the next step. But right now I've created a kind of, like a trapezoidal shape on the car because this is going to become like the car's headlight. Now I'm going to basically remove this part, and the fastest way to remove, of course I could use the eraser, but there's a faster method. I'll just use that. I'll go to the bitmap mode. I will use fill tool, but I will fill it with nothing, right? So once I do that, I go and select the fill tool, fill it with nothing. If I select this gets removed, and then all I have to do is to just go and select, click on the yellow line as well, and the yellow line also gets removed. And notice that I get a nice headlight looking shape appearing here. Right now, remember, in this it was important to set X for the car to be 0 so that the thing is nicely aligned. Right now, having done all this, I'll go back to the vector mode and I will make two more squares of black color, right? So here the fill has to be black, right? I will make two more squares of black color and no outline. So I'll choose outline to be, not there. And then I'll just make these two rectangles, which will basically go and sit here and here, right? The reason for this will become clear, but really it's just about, because we are going to have to move the headlight along with the car, right? So as the car moves, the headlight will also move, and for that purpose I need to have some room to be able to move this, right? So I am just going to expand this, this sprite, and I'm going to just, uh, make sure that I'm able to move these around, right? So with this, my costume is done, right? I can now go back and start writing some code for this, right? So remember, my headlight is really for the to follow the car. So on the darkness sprite, I'll say when the flag is clicked, right? When flag clicked, right? Of course, I need to show this, right? So I'll say show, right? And of course, because later on we're going to hide this, right? So I'll say show, and in the control, I'll go and say forever. Right now, I'm going to introduce a new block, which is very, very interesting, very powerful. I'm going to say forever move to, right? Forever go to the X position of the car. Right now, why do I do that? Right? The reason is because remember, in my game, the car is really moving from left to right, right? So its X position is changing. I want to make sure that the X position of the headlight keeps following the X position of the race car, right? And that is the reason I have put the car at 0 0 when I'm making this headlight, right? So I will go and say in the motion block, I'll go and say set x2, right? And this block is in sensing. It's a very powerful block. It says backdrop number of stage. So I'm going to say, I'm going to stick it in here first. I'm going to say select the race car first. So, and the first thing I have is set x to x position of race car. Right now, with this in place, right, I can just try to see if this works. Yeah, okay. So I need to now assign layers for this code for this to work properly. Right now, remember the layers. The whole concept is that if I have one or more sprites, if I have two or more sprites at the same position in the stage, right, which sprite is visible, right? So in this case, I've got four sprites. So I'm going to have to assign these sprites to different layers, right? So I'm going to assign them to four layers, and let's think about it. What's the logical sequence of layers, right? So here, everything works on the highway, right? So all the cars move on top of the highway. The darkness, which means the night, also appears on top, right? So really, it's the highway that should go all the way to the back, right? So highway should be really the last layer because everything is on top, right? Everything should basically obscure the highway, right? You should not have a highway going on top of the car so the car can't be seen. That doesn't make sense, right? So highway should be the last layer. All the cars should move on top of that, but I want that the darkness should go and hide the other cars, right? So notice in my game, darkness goes and hides the other cars, but it does not hide my car, right? So notice the darkness as it's falling, other cars are getting hidden, but my car is still visible, right? So I'm going to follow this. I'm going to make the other cars go to a layer which is above highways because it goes above the highway, but below darkness, right? Now my car is always visible, which means my car should go over darkness. We saw that in the beginning when I first brought in the darkness sprite, my car was behind and hence it could not be seen. I do not want that, right? I want my car to be seen always. So I'm going to say my car should be on the top layer, then there should be this darkness sprite, then there should be this other cars, and then there should be the highway, right? So how do I implement all of this? Well, I need to set this for each of the sprites. So I'll first go to the highway sprite and I'll just put a separate loop here. I'll say, look, when flag is clicked, go to back layer, right? So when I do that, basically the this goes to the back layer, and that ensures that everything on all the other sprites are on top of it, right? So this is like become the foundation of the entire game, right? Next, I go to the other car. So let's say I go to the other car, right? And I'll say I want the other car to be one layer above the highway, right? So I'll go and say, look, when flag is clicked. So when flag is clicked, so I'll first send it to the back layer, right? So I'll say, send to back, go to back layer, and then I will move it forward by one layer. Basically, move it upward or forward by one layer, right? So this will ensure that the other car is just one layer above the highway. Next, I'll go to the darkness sprite and I'll say, look, you know, when the flag is clicked, so when flag clicked, go to the top layer and then go down one layer, right? So this I'm doing this just to illustrate that there are all these usages. So I'm going to say go to say front layer and then go backward one layer. Right now, I could also have done go to back layer and then go forward two layers, because really back the last layer is the highway, layer above that is the other car. So I could have said go two layers above the back layer, but here I'm choosing to go to front layer and then go backward one layer. And then finally for the race car, I'll go and say when flag is clicked, go to the go to the go to the top layer, right? So with this done, right, with this done, now I really expect that my layers are all set, my no sprite is hiding each other, highway is not hiding the darkness, not hiding highway, apart from the ones that we really want to. So we want the highway to be the end. We want the cars to be running on top of that. We want the darkness to go on top of that and obscure the cars, hence darkness on higher layer. And finally, we want our car to be visible at all times. So when I do this, now notice my darkness is always there and darkness is always following other car, I mean my car, because my car is probably hit something because it's dark, I can't see, right? So now I'm just going to add little bit of code to the darkness to emulate the day and night behavior. Now that is all kind of in place, and that is really using the so-called ghost effect. Ghost effect can cause the game to, the sprite to become transparent, for example. So I will use that, right? So I will go to the darkness sprite and I'll say when the flag is clicked, right? So when flag is clicked, basically set the ghost effect to 100, which means that make the whole thing completely transparent, right? So I want the game to start in daytime, otherwise it looks very awkward. So I'll say ghost effect to not change ghost effect by 100, I'll say set ghost effect to 100, right? And now I'm going to progressively change the day and night. So first day will become night, night will become day subsequently, right? So in my game, I'm keeping a simple approach. I'm saying look forever, right? And I'm going to just put two loops, two repeat loops, repeat 100 times. So repeat say 100 times, right? Change ghost effect by -1, right? So uh, change ghost effect by -1, right? So when I do this, I'm going to basically reduce I mean the so I'm going to increase the say darkness of this whole thing, right, by reducing the ghost effect, and I'm going to add a little bit of weight here just for the for the game to look a bit natural, right? So I'll go and say so 0.1 second weight, and then once the night has fallen, then slowly again it comes back to day. Right now you can play with these things. You can you know uh, essentially maybe the night takes longer to come and you can do those things, but I'm just keeping it simple here. I'll say change ghost effect by 1, right? And with this my sprite will always have night and day happening. And notice what happens here when I start the game. It's daytime. It starts to get darker and darker because the ghost effect is changing, right? I started ghost effect of minus of 100, which is completely transparent, right? I'm reducing the ghost effect, so it's becoming darker and darker, and now eventually it's going to get totally dark and I can only see the car that is right ahead of me in the headlight, right? So I can do this. I can slow down here. Okay, not really escape, right? So now with this I'm just going to add a little bit of code, a very very little bit of code, to kind of create some kind of a score, right? We are pretty much done with the game, right? So the way I will do the score is that I will go and say, okay, look, I can cause the whole game is about how long do I last in this, right? So I can create a variable here called score in the, I'm doing this in the race car, but anyway, it doesn't matter because it's all variables for all sprites, right? So I'm going to say create a score when the flag is clicked, right? So say when the flag is clicked, right? So basically when flag is clicked, then I'll say set score to 0, because obviously I want the score to start from 0 all the time, every time I start the game, right? And I will also hide this variable, right? So in fact, I'll hide this car speed as well. I will say, I'll say hide variable score, right? And then I'll use a timer here. So I'll go and say in the block, I'll go and say reset timer, right? And I will, when I receive accident, remember accident is when the game has gotten over. So previously I just said stop other scripts in this sprite, but I'm going to add a little bit more code here. I'm going to say that look, when I receive accident, so I'll say variables. I can say set score to, right? Set score to, say I can use the round of timer, right? And what that does is that it will basically take the integer part. I mean, if it's like timer is more than something x 0.5, it will become x plus 1. Otherwise, it will become x minus 1, right? So it's nice. Otherwise, timer looks a little complicated sometimes, right? So you can say set score to say round of timer, and that's really telling how long you've lasted in this game. I can then say show variable, so show variable score, and then I can say stop other scripts in the sprite, right? So oops, this is gone here, and with this, in fact, my game is completely ready. Notice the night is falling, right? I can drive like this, I can speed up a little bit, I can overtake these cars. So I'm really getting a sense that I'm overtaking these cars, but now it's getting darker, so I better be a little bit careful, slow down a little bit, right? Maybe I can slow down just a bit so that I can play this, right? And then we can. So the game is completely ready. So let's just recap what all we have done. Well, in this part of the video, we basically created the other car, which was straightforward. I mean, it's much like the other games, like the Chrome Dino and so on and so forth, right? So we created clones and have them move from top to bottom. And once they reach the edge, we delete. If they touch the race car, then we said, we delete the clones, all right, but we also declare an accident. Once accident happens, we stop the cloning of the highways, basically delete both the clones, but bring out the highway so that the background becomes nice, right? Also, we created this darkness sprite. Basically, the whole idea was to create a costume in a way that it looks like a headlight. I've removed part of the costume, so that creates me a nice headlight effect. However, for all of that to be effective, I have to use layers and place them in appropriate layers. And in fact, there's just one thing I've not done, which is that once this game gets over, I want the darkness to really hide. So I'll just say when I receive accident, right? Accident is, remember, when the game gets over. So I'll say cleanup blocks. When I receive accident, I can just go to this guy and I say hide this, right? So now what will happen is if I do get accident, right? Let's see, if I'm moving, I'll intentionally cause an accident, right? And it will notice darkness hides and the game stops and the score is shown, right? So with this, the game is done. I hope you enjoyed this. Take care. Bye bye. Thank you so much.